democratically led Congress in the last couple of years, too, there's plenty of blame to go around there also, where they hold the purse strings, they craft the budgets and vote for the budgets, and the budgets have grown too drastically, and individuals like Barack Obama voting 94 times for higher taxes on Americans. No, there's some blame to go there, too.
All right, special needs for children. A lot of mothers out there with children who have all sorts of extra needs. What exactly would you do for them?
Well, as governor, I've been a proponent and successful also in getting more funding for special needs children in our schools.
That's government growing.
Not when you prioritize for that. And these children who have special needs, they're not a problem, they are a priority. So as long as we can prioritize what I believe and what a lot of Americans believe is right, you allow equal access to good education, and you allow opportunities for kids with special needs, even if that asks you to shift some of the funding that maybe went in another area, maybe growing bureaucracy in a local school district. Instead of that, get that money into the classrooms so that all kids, not just the kids with special needs, so that all kids can benefit from those public dollars, being more accountable and prioritizing better for public dollars in our schools. That's what I've been a proponent of and have effected change there.
Did you know that Governor Palin is a basketball player? And not just any player, she's a champ. She played on Wasilla High's 1982 state championship basketball team. We asked Governor Palin about Title IX, the 1972 law that was revolutionary for women and girls. Title IX said from that point on, there would be no discrimination based on gender in any public school programs or activities. What did that mean for then high schooler Sarah Heath, now Governor Palin? All right, here's an easy one. Title IX.
Title IX, yeah.
What do you think about
Title IX?
What did it do for you?
Well, sports changed my life, and had it not been for Title IX, I don't know if I would have had the equal opportunity to be in there participating in sports and other extracurricular educational activities. Title IX and sports, it teaches you everything that you need to know when you're out there on the basketball court or you're out there competing on the soccer field. You're learning about self-discipline and teamwork and leadership and setting goals and learning to win and lose graciously. We don't like to talk about losing so much, graciously. Those things that sports teach you, if it weren't for Title IX, I don't think we would have been able to capitalize, me personally, on opportunities that have been out there. And it's like Plato said, too. You learn more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. So as more girls, especially the 70s and 80s, got to be involved in sports and got to have that camaraderie and that networking also, those girls whom I played sports with back then, they're my best friends today, all these years later. That network, that family, that team and sports teach you, that's all thanks to Title IX.
All right, competition, playing, you mentioned sports. Let's talk about Bill Ayers. And you've been going after Senator Obama pretty aggressively recently. Is that your job?
Well, I think it's my job when I'm asked about or read about, as I did in the New York Times the other day, this association that's pretty significant and is kind of telling regarding someone's judgment that they would be working with, associated with a domestic terrorist who had, campaigned to bomb the United States Capitol and our Pentagon, and this is an unrepentant domestic terrorist. That's the scary part about it.
I think he said he was unaware when he first met him. Did you give him a pass on that?
No, it's hard to believe that someone wouldn't have known Bill Ayers, who I've known a Bill Ayers way up there in the north, what the association was. No, and I think the significance here, Greta, is truthfulness and judgment, and maybe how that is reflected in other issues and other policy calls. That's why the association there and discussing it, I don't think is off limits.
How about Reverend Wright and Father Flagger?
Well, I haven't brought that one up. I did respond to a question the other day. Someone asked me what they thought about.
All right, I'm bringing it up.
You're bringing it up. Yes, you are. That's John McCain's call on that one also, though, whether he wants to discuss that association and some of the things that Reverend has said about our great country.
So you take a pass on him right now on that question?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll let John McCain take it.
We spoke to the governor before one of her large rallies in Jacksonville, Florida. How much interaction do you have with Senator McCain? Now, you're both on the road. You're both hitting. You know, you got a big crowd today, and but how much do you guys talk?
A lot. I was just on the phone with him last night. I'll probably be calling him after this interview also before I go on stage with this rally, and we've got a great relationship. There's some kindred spirit there in a worldview that is shared, and the optimism that we have in regards to this great country and where we believe that this country can head if we have the right leadership.
Now, you said that you'd like to go to Michigan and that the campaign is pulled out. Why do you think that the numbers aren't particularly favorable in Michigan for your ticket?
I don't know, but I want to get there because I want to speak with them, especially blue-collar, hard-working Americans in that state. I just feel that connection with them also, knowing that the challenges that they face, those are the challenges that Todd and I have faced and still face today, with wanting to make sure that, you know, we have job security and that there is an ability there to be provided health care, to pay for our health care, to have an economy that would allow for that, and be able to pay for our kids' college tuition and be able to fuel up our gas tank without it costing us an arm and a leg. All those things that folks in Michigan are feeling, Todd and I have felt that also all these years. I have a connection with them, and I want to get there.
What's sort of, this is sort of a pop quiz answer, a question, I guess, but what's the hardest decision that you've had to make in your life?
I don't know. The best decision was about 5 weeks ago, though, when being asked if I wanted to join Senator McCain in this opportunity, a challenge, a responsibility, but an opportunity to get to affect positive change that this country is due. Americans are craving this, they're deserving this, and we're committed to being on their side. And that was the best decision that I made, was saying yes.
All right, I'll make one last sort of question sort of like that, but what's the most agonizing decision did you have to make as governor? The one that's the toughest for you?
Whenever an issue has to deal with personnel, whether to keep someone on or whether to ask them to step aside so someone else can come in and take their place, because, you know, sometimes it gets personal, sometimes it gets political, but replacing someone in a cabinet, sometimes that's agonizing, but you got to do what you got to do, putting the people who hired you first. You got to make sure you have the right team around you so that you can best serve.
Governor, thank you very much. I know you got a very busy, not just day, but next 28 days or 27, whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Now, after the interview, we went with Governor Palin to a rally at the Jacksonville Landing. Thousands of supporters crammed into the complex along the St. Johns River. We caught up to Governor Palin moments after she left the stage. Governor? Hey. Now, I know this is serious business. You take it seriously, but you look like you're having fun.
It's fun. It is fun. That interview was even fun. Yeah.
You like to go and talk to the crowds?
I do. I like reading their signs. I like hearing that message that they're sending right back to me, and then I get to send that to John McCain also. And what the message has been the last couple of days is tell them to take the gloves off. So that's been good.
You know, it's so interesting that I call you Governor, out of respect, of course, but the crowds that call you Sarah. Everyone in Wasilla calls you Sarah. Everyone in Alaska, people here call Sarah.
So please, call me Sarah. Yes. Yeah.
Governor, I know you're busy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Greta.
Good luck on the campaign trail. Call you Sarah. I'll call you Sarah.
All right.